clip of the day.
Now, at the beginning of the show, we kind of got on a little track, and then we went off into another dimension, and which was very interesting. But I'm going to go back to talking a little bit about some of the battles that the United States is fighting around the world.
And I would say one of those would be
Caliphate!
Caliphate's definitely on the list. But so I ran into this clip. I picked it off the Thom Hogan show, and it was with
who's Hogan?
Thom Hogan.
Hogan? You're not thinking is this the?
Oh, you're thinking of Hartman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should be Thom Hogan.
Oh, it is? Okay, just so I understand.
Actually, Thom Hogan used to be an editor at InfoWorld. I shouldn't probably use his name.
Just so I understand.
Okay, so we got Thom Hartman.
Wait a minute. You have to wait a minute. If you're opening up a segment, we need to open up the segment.
Ferguson, hands up, don't shoot.
Well, no. It's funny that you anticipated the Thom on Ferguson police.
It's the wrong crapo. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. That's the way the show works. You do 90%, 95%, 98% of the time you nail it, but this time no. This is the clip.
Buzzing myself.
This is the clip from the Tom Hayden clip.
Okay.
Now Thom had Tom on his show, so it was a Thom and Tom show for a while. And when he played this clip, there's an interesting little tidbit in here that I want to bring in at the end, and it's kind of a mind blower.
I shall be quiet throughout the entire clip, is what you're suggesting I do.
Yeah, it would be okay.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
I'm well. What is the Long War Doctrine? You've been writing about this. Tell us about it and who's behind it.
Well, I didn't know anything about it till 12 years ago. I'm holding up a book edited by Andrew Basovich called The Long War. It's a doctrine that was invented by people in the Pentagon about 2004. They said it's going to be a long war stretching maybe 80 years. I think that's because the long war against the Soviet Union lasted 80 years. That would be about 15 presidencies. God knows how many trillions of dollars that we don't have. And one of these authors, the chief advisor to General Petraeus, said that at the time that Iraq was just a small war in the context of a long one. I only offer this advice to help people trying to figure out what's going on. How can this be going on forever? And there is a logic to it, just as there was the Cold War. The logic is to defeat so-called Muslim extremism over a number of battlefields over a number of decades. In the words of Bruce Riedel, CIA analyst and advisor to President Obama recently, we have to stop. We have to keep killing them till they stop killing us.
All right. So the one thing I thought this was interesting because the Long War apparently is a doctrine that
like a policy document
may be underway, but the unique part of this was it was formulated in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
What else happened in 2004?
Well, we were in Iraq in 2003.
2004 was a presidential election year.
Yes.
And this is the year that Wesley Clark was given the 7 names.
Well, hold on. First, let's review the Wes Clark 7.
So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, and he said, I just got this down from upstairs, meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran."
Wes Clark was on CNN, And he doesn't show up that often via remote. When he does, there's a message. It's not just hanging out in the studio. You want to hear that real quick?
Yeah.
There are a lot of mixed motives in all of the factional fighting around Syria.
But he is, when you listen to this guy, even though he is a total shill and he messages so beautifully. So when he says there's many motives, he's not kidding. He's not kidding. It's not just the one we're being told here at home.
But what comes through clearly is the United States, we're reevaluating policies. And I think you're going to see us go into Syria with combat multipliers, with airstrikes.
Combat multipliers. Nice.
I love that.
Now, there's more. There's more coming.
Combat multipliers.
There's a lot of good words in this episode of the No Agenda Show, people.
Once suitable intelligence is there.
Suitable intelligence? I just love stopping and listening to the word.
Suitable intelligence. What is unsuitable intelligence?
Snowden?
I think it's very clear from General Dempsey's comments yesterday that we don't anticipate giving ISIS a sanctuary.
But how do you not give them a sanctuary without going against the thing, General Clark, that this president has seemed made a key part of his legacy, which is, I am the president who got America out of 2 wars. That is what he ran on. That is what he has done. And now, not only is it the possibility of whatever word you'd like to use, but military involvement in one of the countries he supposedly got this country out of.
Well, I think what the president's going to say is he's the president of the United States who's working to keep America safe from terrorists.
Well, wait for it. Who is...
Attention, attention. There is a country who needs to pay attention.
Yeah.
And that's why he took out Osama bin Laden, and that's why he's going to go after ISIS. They are a threat. They do. But Aaron, the key thing here is the United States is not going to do this alone. We've got to get our regional allies in there. And I want to see the Saudis show some leadership here. They're, after all, the one country in the region that is the most threatened, because how could you have an Islamic caliphate if you don't control Mecca and Medina? So one way or another, that IS is coming after the Saudis, and they need to take action now to go after the IS. Not stand back, go after it now.
Get off your golden toilet, bitches.
That is the clip of the day. You have to play it. I'm sorry.
Really?
That is extremely important clip.
It's an important clip. I agree. Well, thank you very much. I mean, I think there's more to it, but I'll take it anytime I can get it. Clip of the day. This is indeed very big information.
Very important clip.
It's very, very big information. And I have to say again, this is the new setup that I have, and everything's all fixed. And I have now a scanning system on the television that continuously changes channels, but it's all being recorded. So I swing it back, I record it, boom, I've got it. It's great. Of course, I'm a boring husband. I sit at home all day in my studio.
Yeah, while your wife is gallivanting in Los Angeles.
What are you doing there?
Hollywood parties.
Why are you married to that guy?
Why are you married to that guy?